Okay, so this video is about lies and the effect that it has on people and why people lie, what causes people to lie, and punishment for liars. Okay, so first I want to say this. When you're an empath, whatever, empaths have a tendency to be overshare, as you can say. We talk and we don't even think nothing about it. Like when I get online, I'm recording, all I'm thinking is about basically how I'm feeling, either a channel message I'm telling what I'm going through, or just something I research and I want to share or something like that. And if I want to tell my testimony of what I went through or my family or being gang stalked, then I'll get online and say that. I don't really think of, dang, is this person listening? This what is it? When I don't think like that. I just get online and I tell my truth or whatever. So because I have that, like I overly share, and just in my opinion, I'm just being honest and telling the truth. But other people, it's two different types of people. Some people look at it like, she telling all her business, blah 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 blah, and there's other people that look at it like, oh, okay, interesting, very honest, and can relate because they going through stuff or whatever. And even if you don't say nothing or whatever, it's just. But my problem is people have a problem with you speaking your truth, but continue to watch is because they can't stand in their truth. That's the only way that would make sense to me. Because there's certain people like, I'm gonna give you an example. Certain people like Shelly Lubin, the ex-porn star who got on there and told her testimony. When she got up there and told her testimony, I was like, wow, and I see different people getting up there and they have a very, very shocking story of survival and they went through this. It's like, if you can relate to it, even if that person been through way more harsher stuff than you, it gives you like an inner strength, like, wow, because you're so used to people putting on fronts. Like, for example, if I'm online talking about this person lied to me, I'm going through gang stalking and stuff like that, and most people, they have social medias, they're always putting happy pictures and making it seem like they just living this fairy tale life. And it's not that they don't want to expose their business or whatever or not. It's just that most people are used to putting on facades. So when people hear other people that's going through something, or they see that they're not afraid to get up there and tell the truth, it's like a certain kind of respect there. Even if you don't like it and you don't like that person, you turn your nose up, it's something in you that's just like, well, they're just honest or whatever. They can stand in their truth, and I don't care who thinks what about it or whatever, because I don't know if it's just that, or it's just that I know that God is using me for a purpose or whatever. So people who look and turn their nose up in the background or whatever, I just know that they have a serious mental problem, whatever. They keep watching and doing it or whatever. I just know that they're a demon. So we'll just say that. And you are a demon and keep looking at somebody and turn your nose up, but you don't like what they have to say. That's kind of weird. So we'll just say that. But anyway, let me get back to what I was saying now. When I think about how a liar would think, now, people, we've all told lies in our life sometime or another, whether it's just like a lie, like somebody said, do I look pretty or something, and you're like, oh yeah, you look pretty or whatever. Nobody's gonna be like, hell no, you're ugly. I mean, just let's just be real. We've all told little things here and there, but empaths, like I said, because we talk from the heart and we overshare or whatever, and we don't care about what this person thinks. We're rebels. People tend to respect us more, and they can just genuinely tell it. Real empaths, that we're genuinely honest. So when a person sits up there and lies, like, I'm trying to think, if you when you sit up there and you lie on somebody, in your mind, you know that you're telling a lie. No, I'm not talking about that narc. I'm not talking about that. But when you discredit somebody, you look at somebody and you're lying. It's like the only thing I could think, because I don't think these people have mental problems. I know they purposely lie. You have to be a really, really wicked person to know the truth about somebody, but still sit up there and lie. Even if you, that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's certain people that I don't feel like should be in the healing community. It's certain tarot readers, and it's certain tarot readers I look at and I'm like, man, I respect them or whatever. I've been watching them for a long time. I respect them. And there's certain tarot readers or whatever. It's like they do like just silly stuff. It's like, how you gonna be a healer and claim you're an empath, but it's like, you in your readings, some of them be throwing shots and stuff like this. It's one reader or whatever, and I'm not even really gonna get into it, but she just lied in her reading. Like, she did it more than once too, just like little shots. And to me, the only reason why people do stuff like that is because they trying to get a reaction out of you. They do it very subtle, and they know how I am or whatever. It's like, that's like me watching a girl. I'm just gonna give an example of how some people demonic their mind is. That's like me watching a girl and I'm a reader. I can remote view whatever, see what what the person is going through, whatever their past, all the other stuff. And I'm watching her. I know she's a good person. I know she's a chosen one of God. And I know she's going through Gangstalkers. I know she's being isolated. I know people working against her, all this stuff. So I'm just watching her. And I know she's celibate. I know she's an introvert. I know she's trying to get herself together. I know God is using her for a purpose. And she online telling a story. And I'm just watching her. And I'm like, I'm just giving you an example. This is not the exact words the person said. I'm just telling you about how some people are. And I get on my channel, and I know she watched me or whatever, and I'm like, yeah, certain people or whatever, this person in this pile, they're isolated or whatever. They're putting on the front to the world that they're isolated and they're celibate, but they really are sleeping with 6 different people in one night every night. They just can't stop sleeping with 6 different people or whatever. And then I'm just making up bullshit or whatever. I'm just telling you, but it's like you're saying that, but you know it's not true. And not only do you know it's not true, you know the truth of that person. So for you to sit up there and just make up a complete lie, either you work for the devil and you secretly acting like you work for the light, or you just a demon and you just a malicious person. And there's no way around it. There's no way to even try to balance that out and be like, oh, well, maybe they're talking about nobody else. It's like certain people, they just do certain stuff. And they had a nerve to talk about they work for the team of light. So that's what I'm saying. It's this, anybody can get up there and be like, I love God and I'm a healer. But I mean, just come on. You will be known by your fruits. And that's another thing. There's certain things that I would just, I just don't do because I don't even think like that. But it's certain things that I just would never purposely do nothing like that without feeling bad or just in general being like, I just don't see how people can just do this, especially when you know the truth about somebody. So the only thing, like, instead of me speculating, I don't know, or you're wrong for this, or I'm just, you're a demonic devil or whatever, because only a devil would know the truth about somebody and still falsely talk down on their name. That's why they say that telling lies on people is witchcraft. And I said that before on my video a long time ago. It's like you're causing an illusion about that person. It's like me. I know a person is a good person. I know a person is a faithful person. I know a person is real, blah, 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 blah. But then I go around them, then I leave. And I'm not just talking trash about them, whatever. I'm just completely making up lies. Yeah, she do this, she do. It's like the only way you would do that is if you especially if you know the truth about that person. It's like it's a demon and you working to tear that person down to try to change I don't know, whatever. Smear campaigns, I'm just going to be honest, smear campaigns are necessary because anybody who believes a smear campaign without coming to you and telling you first or something like that, or is this true, blah, 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 they work for the devil. Anybody that is listening to a smear campaign about you, they know you or they don't know you, and they just automatically believe it. And some people, they know the truth. They can look at you, they hear you talk, they know the truth, but it's easier to believe the lies, easier to get on the bandwagon, it's easier to hate than to sit up there and say that person is the real raw truth. But that don't have nothing to do with the target or the real empath, the chosen one. That has something to do with them. And that's why I always say, people that sit up there and do that, when you lie on a good person's name, especially a person that God is standing for and working through, and using them in a wonderful way to like spread his messages or whatever, it's like the only punishment you can get for that is like it's like death. And I told you guys the harsh judgment and punishment for working against God's people. It's like I don't even care about how people think. I don't want to know. It's not about how people think. The only way you can sit up there, look at somebody, purposely discredit them, purposely try to get a rise out of them, constantly constantly say this, constantly do that, is if you're a freaking devil. So it's just a lot of things that I just be like, I don't regret the gang stalking at all. Of course, it's annoying, but it's like it was needed for you to see. You can't trust people or whatever. Anybody coming up to me, and I'm not on no paranoid stuff. I just do not trust people or whatever, period. It's like, especially family members or whatever. I don't like family members asking about me. They can look on the platforms, keep looking, stay silent. And if you've been silent, stay silent. That's how I feel, for real. Just stay silent permanently. But it's just like people you have to really, really, really watch people and really just open your discernment. You really can't trust anybody. You know what I'm saying? It's like, everybody is not your friend. And I'm fine. If I was a person who had like a big group of friends and I had my family turn on me and no friends, it's like if I wasn't a strong person, that would kind of bother me. But I never been like a frenzy type person. I'm always kind of like being by myself, or if I'm with a partner, just me and him. I don't like a lot of people around me or whatever. I don't trust a lot of people. I never been the type that wanted to hurry up and have children. To be honest with you, I don't really want children. I'm not gonna make nobody make me feel bad about it. If I ever decide, if I ever get a partner and he wants a child, we'll talk about that. But that's not me, and I'm not nothing less than a woman if I don't want to have a kid or whatever. Some people have kids and they love their children and they're good mothers and good mothers, and their kids love them and respect them. And there's some people that have children and they regret having children, and they just will never say that out loud. And it's, I mean, but that it is what it is. And there's some people that don't really want kids. They don't really have no desires. Like me, I told you, I look at babies and I think they cute, but I just, I don't really, I get kind of irritated real quick, and it's not like I'll just be a mean mom or something like that. It's just if you have a child, you have a child with the wrong partner, you're gonna end up being a single mom, and it's gonna be hard on you. And then think about if you really didn't want it in the first place. And so that people don't want to talk about that, but it's just the truth or whatever. So I don't. And this is another thing too. If you are a targeted individual, and you isolated, when you, because it's like certain stuff I used to hear in readings talking about people saying, oh, it must be something wrong with her or whatever, she don't date. When you're targeted or whatever, it's different agents, and remember, agents is nothing but a person holding a demonic spirit in them. It's different agents that be coming up to you, and you it's like you don't know if they're reporting back. It's like anybody, so you just can't trust anybody. So anybody saying, oh, it must be something wrong, and they see what you online going through, they work for the devil, they want you to think, oh, it's something wrong with you. No, I've had guys come up to me and I purposely choose not to give my number. I purposely choose, I don't trust anybody. I don't ever want anybody around me that I have to question, I wonder if they're going to go back, and when I leave, if they're going to, I don't have time for that. If somebody, if God doesn't reveal to me that somebody's 100% solid or whatever, and I can trust them, then you can't be around me. When you go through a situation where somebody you looked out for and cared about lied on you, left you for dead, and gang stalked you with different people, random niggas who don't know you, and you have neighbors that listen in, and people see what you're going through, especially family, and they just sitting there looking, not seeing nothing. It's parents, it's like you how can you trust anybody after that or whatever? You look at everybody like it's like you can't look at the world you can't look at the world the same, because it's like people are just, it's like, especially when your family does it or whatever. If you have parents that do that, then you know that anybody will do that or whatever. So it's just like I said before, when you lie on somebody, when you purposely try to hurt a good person, God will let it go on. I told you just to test you to see how far you're gonna go, to build that person up so they can get more aware of the people that's coming against them. They can get way more stronger and stuff like that. But He lets it goes on for a reason. Because I told you, God sees everything. He'll give the illusion that you're getting away with stuff, but it's just, but people lie on a good person name, and you purposely do it in the massive amount. I'm sorry, the extent of the lies or whatever that you tell. Your punishment can be through death. And I've said that plenty of times before. People think that it's a joke or something like that until it really happens. It's like you could just be, when you rile up gang stalkers and stuff against somebody, when you participate in spreading lies, and everywhere a person goes, it's like you go this way, you go. I went somewhere last week, and I noticed I'm not going to say where. I went in the building with a family member, and I noticed it was a girl just came in there and sat right behind me or whatever. It's just a real awkward black looking girl, just looked like she was just like lost in there scratching her head, and I knew she was just in there. Just, it's just like they just do weird stuff, and it's like when you're enlightened and you're of the light, it's like we look at people like that, like they stupid or whatever. It's like a real icky feeling, like you just have trash following you around everywhere. And I'm not trying, well, I don't care who gets offended. It is what it is. And just be honest, you can't offend gang stalkers. They don't have no soul. But it's just like everywhere you go, it's like, and they know it's agitating you, but I don't think they know the spiritual point of how you look at them. Just think about it. It's like every the minute somebody leave their house, you hurry up and jump in your car and go exactly where they're going, and sit outside their house and honk horns. It's like people, I told you, people that are enlightened, we don't look at that like Yeah, it's annoying, but we look at it like real scum of the earth, because only scum of the earth and I keep saying devils, but it's just like you have to have a lower intelligence to do that. And I mean, just think about it. You, even if you're getting paid for that, if if people giving you girls for that, whatever people doing, your IQ level has to be very small to even do this. So that's why when I post videos like that, now I'm like, oh, I see why they laugh, because they're ignorant or whatever. Anybody that's gang stalking you, anybody that sits up there and watch everything you do, and just to laugh, and it's truth videos, channel messages and stuff like that. It's like anybody gang stalking, they're not gonna understand the post anyway, because they're freaking stupid. Either they understand it and they don't want it to be known, or either they're just freaking stupid or whatever. And because I mean, just think about it. What kind of person would sit outside your house every day and honk the horn? What kind of person would, every time you leave, they hurry up and drive to the corner store right ahead of you and just sit in the parking lot and go in the store and look at what you're buying? And it's like, who even does that? Unless you're just like a grimy, low level type of person. And these are men or whatever, checking out how much a woman make and stuff like that. These are men. That's why I say a lot of gang stalkers and if you're gay, you're gay or whatever. That's fine. Nobody's perfect. We all have a past. If you're gay, you're gay. But you have to think about what type of men do stuff like that. True straight men, true men that have God in them in general, true men of high intelligence. They don't have time to do stuff like that. It always has to be somebody that's very low level, very ignorant, very stupid, very like, and I don't like to say thuggish, but that's why you see a lot of gang stalkers or whatever, and they look. And I try to watch the words that I use. It's not to not offend them, but because I don't care about offending them, it's just they're very like low level. Because only low level demonic people do that. You'll never see nobody of importance or intelligence or closely connected to God gang stalking somebody. They have to get somebody that just doesn't care about nothing or nobody, do anything to get theirs or whatever. It's like it's just or whatever. So just you just gotta think about that. You gotta be a low level person to go around spreading lies about somebody when you know the truth about them. You gotta be a demon. I'm sorry, you gotta be a demon to follow somebody everywhere and know the truth of that person, to participate in trying to aid in driving a person crazy or cause them to get off the rocker, because you see what the person's purpose is and what God is using them for, but you still send the energy work. Gang stalkers don't always have to follow you everywhere either. Gang stalkers can be just people that just watch you and do magic on you and stuff like that. A gang stalker can be online, a person that's constantly controlling the views. Gang stalkers, it's not just people just every day that just follow you. It's them too, but it's other people too. Gang stalking is like different people being set up to you that are fake, that are false, that are meant to go back and tell your business, carry out a message, and that are just, it's just a gang of people meant for your demise. So I just want to put this quick video out or whatever, but the power of lying on somebody and you know the truth about somebody and constantly doing it and discrediting this and discrediting that, and people are listening to you, you're responsible for the people listening to those lies. I'm not talking about just little silly gossip that people do, because people all talk. But when you purposely try to ruin a good person's name, it's harsh judgment for that or whatever, especially if you know the truth about that person. That, I mean, look at what happened when they crucified Yeshua or whatever, when they killed him. And they knew who he was. So it's just something to think about.